Hello students, today I am going to teach new lesson of EVS 1 storage of water. First we will see one riddle. This is something you can find in a lake and in a stream. When frozen it turns to ice. When boiled it turns to steam. Can you guess who am I? Yes, correct, water. Student, let's see the activity. Make a small hillock of mud and stones in the schoolyard. Set some stones into the hillock. Student, can you see in the picture? The girl pour water on hillock. Let's see some question and answers. In which direction does the water flow? Water flows in downward direction. How does the water flow on the steeper slopes? Water flows faster on steeper slopes. And what happens when the stones cause an obstruction? When the stones cause an obstruction, the water changes the direction. And why did the hillock dry when we stopped pouring water? The mud part of the hillock took long time to dry. It is because more water was seeped into the mud. So it takes long time to dry, and the stones at the bottom of hillock dried quickly. You will realize that some rainwater flows away over the ground. Some water seeps into the ground. All the water we get comes from the rain. The rainy season lasts for 3 or 4 months. Along with us, all living things use this water all year round. If we do not store water, we will not have enough water for our needs. That is why we have to save water. Water must be used economically. So in this lesson, we will see different ways of storing water. These are the sources of water. Wells, water tanks, draw wells, river and ponds, old reservoirs, old tanks. These are the traditional methods of storage water. Dams, bore wells, these are the modern methods of storing water. Traditional method means the method used for storing water in the olden days. In our state, a variety of methods of storing water were existing in the olden days. Nowadays, these old water stores are really used. However, their remains can be seen in many places. So let's see different ways of storing water. Wells. Some rainwater seeps into the ground. Wells are dug to obtain this water. Water tanks in forts. In olden days, people lived on the hill forts and they also needed water. The forts had reservoirs and tanks dug into the stone. Draw wells. In the past, draw wells were dug to get drinking water. They were small wells from which water was drawn using a small pot tied to a rope. Atpadi in Sangli district had a draw well in every vada. You can see in the picture. Rivers and burns. Earthen or masonry burns were built across river to store water. Old reservoirs. Reservoirs were built in areas of low rainfall or in areas without a major river. Most of the reservoirs were built using stone and mortar. Old tanks. Earlier, tanks were used to store water. Some large cities still have these old tanks. You can find one in Aurangabad city. Recent water storage systems. Dams. The most important of all recent water storages in the dam. Its storage huge quantities of water. As a result, cities grew. More land was brought under cultivation. Factories were set up. Electricity was generated. Jayakwadi, Koina, Uzni, and Eldari. These are the dams which is located in Maharashtra. Bore wells. Earlier, wells were dug to reach the water under the ground, but it was not possible to draw deep seated groundwater. Now, with the help of electric pumps, it is possible to do so. Bore wells are dug for this purpose. These wells are very deep but very narrow. Panpoi means drinking water stands. People out on the roads need water when they are thirsty. Big clay jars of drinking water are kept for the use of such people. This water is offered free of charge. This is known as panpoi. Panpois are set up by individuals or institutions and are very useful, especially in summer. Student, always remember this. Water is natural resource. Rainwater must be stored and kept for all year round. All living things need water and is used for various purposes. We must keep this in mind and use water wisely. Thank you, students.